What's up, Creative Gamers? I'm Mark, and welcome to Creative Games. If you're new to the channel, I both play and collect video games, classic and new. Like Disney reboots, used game prices have been trending steadily upwards since the late 2000s, and building a collection can get expensive really fast. When people ask where they can buy video games without having to sell a kidney on the dark web, one of the strategies that I recommend is checking out garage sales. I've been hitting up garage sales all summer to find deals and pad my collection, and I thought it would be fun to go through what I found with you. We're going to be looking at 6 consoles, about 50 games, a whole bunch of accessories, all picked up from garage sales, and all for only about 80 bucks. Let's take a look. Alright, I'm wearing a PlayStation shirt, so let's start with some PlayStation 2 games that I picked up. I got all these, there's 8 games here that I picked up at one garage sale for $5, just for all of them, straight up. So we got Mark Davis Pro Bass Fishing. Probably will test that and never play it again, but you never know, maybe it's a hidden gem. Socom US Navy SEALs. This was a pretty popular series in the early to mid 2000s. I don't really hear about it anymore. Same with this one, actually, Medal of Honor Frontline. And I've actually seen this one on a Hidden Gems video. This is Ace Combat Shattered Skies, or Ace Combat 04, excuse me, Shattered Skies. And it's like a flight simulator, like a Star Fox kind of style, but not on rails. It's got the manual and the disc in here in pretty good condition. Then we got Midnight Club Racing. I've never actually played it, but I've heard good things. I think it's just an arcade-style racing game. And oh, this is nice. I actually used to own the PS2 Grand Theft Auto games. This one here is San Andreas. And it's kind of nice to add these back to the collection. Looks like it's in great condition. Actually comes with a memory card. 8 megs. They don't make them like they used to. Then we got Grand Theft Auto Vice City, or actually Vice City Stories. I don't know very much about this game and how it's different from Vice City. I know that they made it for PSP and ported it to PS2. Tony Hawk Underground. The last Tony Hawk I actually played was 4, and this one came out after that, so it'll be interesting to see how the series went from the 4 numbered installments. So here we got an original PlayStation console. This is the original model of the original PlayStation even, and it's in kind of rough shape. Actual hardware-wise, it seems sturdy and decent, but it's just got a lot of scuffs and stickers. And it opens, and we actually got a game in here. Harvest Moon Back to Nature. Okay, that's fun. I only ever played the original Harvest Moon game, but I liked it. Alright, we got snowboarding. Just snowboarding. These are PlayStation Magazine? If that's familiar to anyone, maybe these are collectible to someone? I don't know, looks like we got a few of them here. Okay, we have like a Namco brand plug-and-play here. Looks like there's batteries in it and it powers on. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't work. Some kind of plug-and-play Tetris game. This is a really weird-looking controller. I don't think I've ever seen this before. We got a Sega Game Gear. Not particularly rare, but you know, for $15 for this whole box of stuff here, it's nice to find something like this in there. I don't actually have a Game Gear, and there isn't any batteries in it. So I'll test that with batteries and with a AC adapter. They take the same charging port as a Genesis, actually. One more thing, we got a Gameboy Advance. That's nice. Looks like it's in pretty dang good shape. It does. Sounds great. Looks great. It's the Glacier, like the clear plastic model. GT Advance Rally Racing 2. A really dusty but seemingly good shape original Xbox here. Another original Xbox that's a little cleaner. Project Gotham Racing 2. I have the original, so it's nice to get the second. Blinks the Time Sweeper. Heard of it? I've never played it. Ooh, Simpsons Hit and Run. I remember playing this on GameCube quite a bit with my friend Alex when I was in high school. Call of Duty Finest Hour. Another Call of Duty game. Here we go. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. That's always a nice find. I already have a copy of this, but I could always gift it to someone or sell it. Limited Edition Mech Assault 2 Lone Wolf. Fusion Frenzy. I have this one already, but again, could make a good gift. This was a really fun party game back in the day. I remember playing it in college. Someone had it. Unreal Championship. I know I've at least heard of that before. I don't know if I've played it. Ghost Recon. Star Wars Starfighter Special Edition. We got Futurama here, which as far as I know is the only game based on the TV show, and is actually somewhat rare of a find. I think complete this goes for like $75, so just the disc, not as much obviously, probably half that, but still a really good find. Okay, let's follow up the Xbox with its sister console, which was released like within a few days of the Xbox, the GameCube. So right away we got a black model, probably release edition GameCube, and it looks like it's in pretty good condition. There's a game in there, and again, I got this from the same people that had the PS1, but we got another Harvest Moon game, and again, that's the one on the console, ironically. So this is Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life. I don't know if it's worth anything, but Harvest Moon games usually hold their value. And this is a nice find, a Wavebird. And unfortunately no receiver either. I think the receiver is actually worth more than the controller. Alright, we got Mario Golf. I actually have a copy of that already, but I think Greg might like it. The Fairly Odd Parents Breaking the Rules. It's probably one we can skip. Oh, this is nice. F-Zero GX. I've always wanted to play that. I've never played it, I've never owned it. It looks amazing. Can't wait to try it out. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2. I always enjoy the Need for Speed games. Smuggler's Run War Zones. SSX Tricky. Animal Crossing. I actually lent Animal Crossing to an old friend of mine, and he never gave it back, although he claimed he did. It's like, well, what can you really do then? Okay, so finally what we have left is what I think is the most retro item. That is a Sega Genesis. This is a Model 2 Sega Genesis, actually, which I don't have. I only have the Model 1, and then I can play Genesis games on my Retron as well. But this is a nice find, good to add to the shelf and maybe play on occasionally. So we got an original Sega Genesis controller. This one actually looks like it was, this bundle, I should say, actually looks like it was taken care of really well. Oh, this is cool, a 6-button Sega Genesis controller. This was released when Street Fighter was popular. And there's not just one, but there's actually 2 of those in here. Dual compatible Arcade Pro. You got those lovely purple and teal style color of buttons that were super popular back in the early 90s. I never understood why some Genesis games look like this and some of them look like this. Miss Pac-Man. Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I have this already, but this is one of my favorite games of all time, and probably my favorite Genesis game. Sonic the Hedgehog 3, also excellent. Personally, I don't like it as much as 2, but, you know, opinion. The Lion King. I have that for Super Nintendo. Now I have the Genesis version. Not sure if they're the same or different, but I'll find that out. Batman Returns. I can't imagine that this is a great game. Well, you never know. The NES Batman was good, and the newer Batman games are good. I know there are some duds in there. We'll see. 2 more. World Series Baseball. Taz and Escape from Mars. Okay. Let's get them cleaned up and tested, and we'll see if they work. So after cleaning everything and testing it, I did have a few items that just didn't work. The Game Gear, one of the Xboxes, and SSX and Smuggler's Run for GameCube all wouldn't run. Also, the Wavebird didn't come with a receiver, and a lot of cords and cases were missing. My advice, look through everything that you're buying and make sure that everything is there. If something's missing, ask them and they'll probably accommodate, even if they have to get back to you later, because otherwise it's probably just going to get thrown away. Some of the best finds in terms of value were the GameCube console, Futurama, and Star Wars Battlefront on Xbox. The ones I ended up playing the most were F-Zero GX and Blinx the Time Sweeper. What a surprising hidden gem. So I spent about $80 on everything shown here today, and I estimate that if I were to resell it now, I could probably get around $400 for everything. I want to thank you for coming along with me today as we looked at these garage sale pickups that I found this summer, and I want to hear from you in the comments about what your best video game pickups at garage sales have been, and if you have any strategies for finding them. As always, thanks for watching. Are you interested in seeing more garage sale videos? I hope you'll join the Kreative community by subscribing and checking out my other content here on YouTube, Twitch, and Instagram. And remember, variety is the spice of life.